Hello and welcome to Sprouted Dreams 2024. Boy, I am so glad to get rid of 2023. It was not the best year for me and my family, and I'm so looking forward to a new year. So I wanted to go over a couple of things to help you get started on your fairy garden projects this January. The first is embossing powder. I wanted a new way to put metallics and colors onto my wood pieces. And yes, you can use embossing powder on wood and it comes out amazing. This is my usual dazzle door and I use mica powders on it when I bake the clay, and then I varnish as usual with my outdoor wood pieces. And these come out very nice, but I wanted to do the dazzle door in a darker wood. And as you can see on this one, the gold just did not show up. So I wanted to try and see if I could use embossing powder. And look at this. The embossing powder really showed up nicely and it made the gold pop on this darker door. So I'll do a tutorial with you on using embossing powder on wood coming up, but I wanted to just kind of put that little thought in your head if you're thinking about using embossing powder or a different way to get metallics or color into your pieces. Like this one. I want to do a lot more with my art this year in my Etsy shop. And so I am going to do actually some more non-functional doors. Most of my doors open and close, but this one does not. So when I put these beautiful twisted pieces of wood on, of course I get them out of our creek and I don't know what type of wood they are sometimes. And this one came out very light, and this one, when I got the varnish on, looked very dark. Even though I added dark and green and bronze and gold prior to varnishing, sometimes when you put varnish on, some woods will darken considerably. This looks almost black. So again, I put the embossing powder on and the gold really pops nicely. So I was able to lighten up this dark one, which I'm going to do some more on. And then I'll put some more black. See if I can get it to focus here. I'll put some more black into these cracks to bring out the darks in this other piece so that I can balance the whole door out. I like the doorknob though. Came out really nice. And then I wanted to show you one more time the embossing powder on this one. I looked at this piece of wood for a long time, and this door had an odd way of closing here. And so I put this beautifully twisted piece of wood on, and my brain said red and black. And I'm like, really? Red and black? So I did, and I didn't want it to look sort of like a barbershop pole or a candy cane. I wanted it to look magical and foresty, like a toadstool under a dark tree type of thing. So again, I put the red on and a bit of black in the recesses, and it didn't look quite right, but the embossing powder again gave that pop of gold in a stronger way rather than just the regular metallic paints. Okay, so that should get you started on thinking about getting some embossing powders for your fairy garden displays. Now, I started doing some more benches, which I really love to do with these unusually shaped woods, especially when you add the varnish. They really can become something so unique that you didn't expect until you get it all put together. And this one has chubbier legs than usual. So it got me thinking of chubby-legged benches. So I did this one, which is so beautiful. And this piece is all part of one piece of wood. And then I added this sort of Y angle on, and it did not want to stick. I had to use epoxy here rather than wood glue. And then that didn't even work. And so I had to put a dowel through and then drill into this little Y piece and then set it on and then epoxy so that I actually could get this to be stable. But still, it doesn't have, with the three legs, the support that it needs right here. So I just wanted to show you, you can find pieces that sort of work, and then I will actually wait until this is all completely settled in here, and then I will sand this all down, but I probably will have to, again, drill through and then put a dowel, like a little toothpick sized piece of wood through, and then epoxy in order to get the stability I need, and then you can file it down. So if you don't have something that is stable in one of your furniture pieces, think of drilling a pilot hole and putting a dowel through. Or similarly, if you have something like a table and the piece keeps tumbling over, a little small drill hole through the bottom, and then a pick, whether that would be like this, a little piece of wire that's coated. These last the longest, but you could even do a toothpick and just replace it. And you don't have to glue or anything. Just put it through, stick it in the ground, and that's going to give the stability to your outdoor pieces so that they make it through the wind and rain and stuff through winter. All right, I hope that gets you started with your 2024 fairy gardens, and I look forward to seeing you next week with a complete tutorial so you can make something special for your fairy garden. Until then, happy fairy gardening!